Let's jump straight into the 405 diary, give an idea of what else you should look out for. Of course, to use the cliche, all eyes on Parliament today, and that's ahead of Finance Minister Tito Mbowene's tabling of the midterm budget policy statement. So many issues being raised in the lead up to that. A litany of requests, if you like. COSATU being amongst the voices really making themselves heard. They want jobs to be a huge focus, the fixing of SOEs, the cancellation of private consultants in some of the government structures because they believe they aren't working. And of course, a big emphasis on dealing decisively with corruption. Wandi Santengeto and Nicholas Baha on that story for us, coming out of Parliament, I'm sure, this afternoon. Another big story on our radar, of course, will be coming out of the Nelspruit Magistrates Court. That's where former Minister BONGO is set to appear in court. As you heard, he's arrested in relation to dubious land deals estimated at around 124 million rand. And this is when he was still in the Human Settlements Department in Mpumalanga. And that's taking you back about 8 years or so. Also worth your consideration, he's currently out on 5,000 rand bail on a separate matter where he's accused of essentially bribing an attorney that was looking into the ESCOM inquiry. So a man who's certainly had a few run-ins with the law. Here on the AM Report, we'll give you an idea of what this then means. Willie Masilela, though, on that story for us. We'll also take you to KZN, where we're expecting the CRL's commissions into the human rights violations at KWASIZABANTU to continue. Today, we're expecting evidence from the church's leaders. You might have heard already evidence from some of the alleged victims of these atrocities. KWASIZABANTU initially saying that this was a smear campaign by a disgruntled faction of the church, but now certainly appearing to strike a different tone and complying with not only these hearings, but I think, in my opinion, certainly showing a whole lot more compassion to the alleged victims of these atrocities. Corinda Jacques Mahan will watch that story as it unfolds. We'll also take you to the northwest, to MADIBENG in particular. That's where the National Council of Provinces is going to be visiting the municipality. Essentially, the NCOP is on a drive where they're visiting 5 of the worst performing municipalities in the northwest, and that include MADIBENG today. Throughout the course of the week, they'll also visit Mahikeng, Bujanala, Naledi, as well as Mahwasi Hills. Today, we're expecting a wastewater project, I beg your pardon, where millions were spent and it's still not working. We're expecting that project to be in sharp focus. Watching that as it happens. And then, of course, another developing story certainly worth your attention, and if history is anything to go by, will make headlines as soon as it begins. EFF leader Julius Malema, as well as MP Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, back in court for their assault charge, and this is in relation, of course, to their pushing an officer during the funeral of the late struggle stalwart Willie Madikizela Mandela.